Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at South Florida, specifically the condo market, from Miami up to Fort Lauderdale. It seems like there's a bit of a crisis brewing.
Yeah, that's right. We've been looking at sources, including some insights from real estate broker Paul Marcelin, and it points to some serious pressure building up.
So our mission today is to sort of unpack what's going on, what are the key factors, and, what does it really mean for condo owners and maybe the whole area?
Exactly. Let's get into it.
Okay, so it's been described as a perfect storm. What are the main elements creating this situation?
Well, there are two really big things colliding. First off, insurance costs. In South Florida, they've just exploded.
Exploded how?
We're talking rates doubling, sometimes more, since around 2020, especially after some recent hurricanes hit the reinsurance market hard.
Wow.
Yeah, and those costs get passed directly to owners through their condo fees. So your monthly payments are suddenly much, much higher.
Over 100% jump in some cases, you said. That's a massive increase for anyone's budget.
It really is. And then on top of that, you have new regulations that came in after the Surfside collapse back in 2021.
Right, the safety rules.
Exactly. Buildings over 30 years old now need mandatory safety inspections. Crucially, they also need to prove they have adequate reserve funds set aside for future repairs.
Okay, reserves for big things like roofs or concrete work.
Precisely. And if they don't have enough saved, which many didn't, the association has to levy special assessments to catch up.
And these aren't small amounts, are they?
Still far from it. We're hearing about assessments reaching tens of thousands of dollars per unit.
Oof. So owners are getting squeezed by higher regular fees and potentially huge one-off bills. What's this doing to the actual market?
Well, you see the immediate impact in listings. There's been a surge. In Miami-Dade, for example, condo listings are reportedly up about 20% compared to last year.
20% more condos for sale.
Yeah.
Okay, so are buyers jumping in, maybe seeing deals?
Not really, no. Buyers are pretty hesitant. You still got high interest rates making mortgages expensive.
Right.
But there's also this big cloud of uncertainty, potential future assessments, rising fees. It makes people cautious.
So more supply, but demand is shaky. What's that mean for prices?
Prices have come down. We're seeing maybe 10, even 15% off the highs of 2022.
Paul Marcelin, the broker you mentioned, he called it a risky buyer's market. That seems to fit.
It does. He noted investors are being careful. And worryingly, more owners are finding themselves underwater, owing more than the condo is currently worth.
Underwater, wow.
Yeah, and distress sales are ticking up too. People forced to sell because they just can't afford to stay.
That's tough. So beyond individual owners, what about the wider ripple effects? Is this impacting the broader South Florida economy?
It looks like it's starting to. We're hearing reports that some developers are pausing new condo projects. That impacts construction, jobs, all sorts of related businesses.
Makes sense.
And think about local businesses that rely on a thriving real estate market. They'll feel the pinch too. It's also hitting retirees particularly hard. Many moved there for affordability and are now facing unexpected costs.
A really concerning picture. So what's the outlook? What did Marcelin and others suggest might happen next?
Well, Marcelin's view is pretty stark. He thinks if these insurance costs don't stabilize soon, or if there isn't some kind of state relief program that actually works,
Then what?
then we could see more foreclosures and potentially further price drops. It's very much an ongoing situation, still unfolding.
Okay, so let's recap quickly. You've got this collision of skyrocketing insurance costs and strict new safety and reserve funding rules.
Right.
It's putting immense financial pressure on condo owners, leading to more listings, fewer eager buyers, and falling prices. And it's starting to ripple out into the wider economy.
It's a real cautionary tale, you could say. Paradise under pressure.
Definitely. And it leaves you thinking, doesn't it, about the bigger picture?
How's-
Well, think about climate change, rising sea levels, aging buildings in coastal areas everywhere. What could this South Florida situation mean for other coastal real estate markets, maybe even globally? Something to consider.